Okay. All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Todd Catlett, and I'm elated to be here. You know, I've been a partner with TCG for a long time, as Carl knows, and, you know, I think back when I first started, there were about 100 sub-agents, right? And now I think there's like 6,000. It's incredible the growth that's happened. And as Carl alluded to, you know, we had a tremendous sale at the end of the year for one of Cynthia Vidal's partners, $89,000 a month. And so I know if you sell a lot of circuits, I think that'd take about $890, $100 circuits, and then you got to manage that, right? So this was a little bit different. Let's see if this all works. So this is really, you know, what I'm here to talk about. Cloud is the enabler of innovation for businesses, and you use it every day. It continues to be, you know, a big part of our lives. And you know, this is one of my CTO's favorite slides. It's from the SAT. All of the questions that people ask, the answer is always the cloud. Move to the cloud, put it in the cloud. And it's true, right? And we have a saying at RackSpace that we're incredibly fond of, that the cloud is for everyone, but not everything, right? And we will give people unbiased expertise, and we're very opinionated about things because we have a lot of expertise. And so this is my favorite slide. This is the revenue iceberg. And where almost all of you have probably dealt with is what's on top of the water, right? Which is a very small percentage of an actual IT spend. It's where you have your, you know, your connectivity, internet circuits, data, you know, telephony. You've got your, you know, 5G, you've got sd-wan, and I'm sure that all of you have probably sold all of those products and solutions to your customers. The real money is below the waterline. And over 80% of the IT spend in almost every business in America is below that. And this is where we want you to begin to dabble and ask questions to your prospects, to your clients, about their infrastructure, their security, their data, and their applications, because this is where the real money is. You know, again, in the cloud, you've got all of the public hyperscalers, the AWS, Azure, GCP, VMware on AWS. And then you have the Internet of Things, which is continuing to explode as more and more devices get connected every single day. And it provides incredible opportunities, but the difference is these are very costly in comparison to selling circuits and unified communications. The deals that we typically do in the agent community are somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000 normally just to start, but we have many deals that are in excess of $100,000 a month, and then we have occasional deals that are over $1 million a month. And when you start to think about the money that you make from a deal like that, it's kind of life-changing and altering to your business. You know, the modern enterprise is all of these things around it, right? Their applications, their data, their security, their cloud. And these are all things that we help with: advisory services, professional services, and RackSpace Elastic Engineering, which is really kind of unique to us. And so we do this, again, in all of the public hyperscalers. We can do it in the private cloud, VMware on AWS, and try to provide a fanatical experience for everyone, right? And we do this across all the major clouds and anywhere in between, and we do it globally. So we're in 120 countries, so we can service customers pretty much anywhere. And this is something, again, unique to us. This is something we rolled out last year, Elastic Engineering. Very unique. We have a lot of really smart people at RackSpace, thank goodness, that help me and help all of you. Elastic Engineering is pods of very highly specialized individuals, 8 to 10 people that work on very short-term contracts, nothing over a year, but typically they're 90-day engagements, where companies have very specific needs and problems that they need solved. And this is flexible for companies, so you can go up and down in hours. We'll start with a 90-day engagement. It could be 50 hours a month. It could be 100 hours a month, depending on their requirements. Some companies may need a lot more up front, right? Maybe it's developing cloud-native applications, migrating their data, and they just don't have the talent and the expertise to do those things. And so this is something that's very different. In the MSP world, most people are used to signing, you know, 1-, 2-, and 3-year contracts. And what happens after initial engagements typically is there's a lot of animosity and friction because companies feel like they're paying for stuff they don't get any value from anymore. And so we design things to do this in very short terms, right? We can do these sprints for people, and it doesn't matter what they're trying to do. We can bring in the experts to do that. And what's unique is it's the same pod of engineers stays with them throughout the whole project. They get to know their business, they get to know their company, they get to know their dog's name, they become very familiar with the overall business enterprise and the operations. and again, help them solve problems. And so the same people stay, but one of the real benefits is we're doing this knowledge transfer from really bright people where, again, they may not have the talent and expertise, but we're helping to educate their people and improve their overall environments. And so we do it across all of these different areas, right? Security, reliability, optimization, automation, architecture. And so again, these are great opportunities for you to start to ask your customers and your prospects about different things, and we'll get to that in a minute. You know, we have a lot of thought leadership in all of these things, and I don't know if any of you have ever listened to Jeff DeVerter. He's our Chief Technology Evangelist. Jeff's an incredibly bright guy, and he does a podcast, and I think he's done about 90 of them, but he does them with some of the brightest people in the world, leaders of companies and incredible technologists, and they're really wonderful, and I have listened to a number of them, and you can get a lot out of that. But we have a lot of detailed information for our partners that's co-brandable. We have a huge library of information, and again, we have case studies, white papers, but we do all these different things you know, where we're involved and we want to really grow. I can tell you that our channel, being a small organization in RackSpace of about 7,000 people, and we're like 10 people, we're responsible for 30% of the revenue of the business, and we're like a $3 billion company. So we have an incredible run rate. We're doing phenomenal things in the partner community, and I can tell you the partners that are engaging us are making lots and lots of money. You know, this is something that we've been really working on a lot lately, is a lot of data modernization. Every business out there is collecting information about everything you do on your phone, every browser that you go to, right? Everyone's collecting information. They want to make it of value to their business. They want to take advantage of it, right? I call it weaponize your data. And people are, you know, we're helping them. We have 30 data scientists. We have 300 DBAs. And this is an area that I can tell you is really growing, and it's growing rapidly, and people want to learn how to take advantage of their data. And so it's a wonderful opportunity for all the partners. We have a lot of big customers globally, and you know, again, you see some of the names there. And you know, from AWS, we're the #1 partner for all the public hyperscalers. We're AWS's #1 partner, we're Azure's #1 partner, we're Google Cloud's #1 partner, and we would have been Microsoft's #1 partner. We've been #1 for 5 different times, but they won't let you win back-to-back years. And so, you know, we would have won probably 10 different times. We have over 5 million mailboxes that we do. You know, we sell the Microsoft Office suite of products, which is kind of an entry point into a lot of business. There's not a lot of money in licensing, but if it gets you in the door and allows you to find other workload opportunities, you know, it can certainly be beneficial to you. Oh, good, my things are working. Good, all right, I wasn't sure my transitions were gonna work. Okay, all right, had a little challenge. I got a new MacBook and I was struggling last night and everything disappeared. You know, again, we're about 7,000 people now. We've been hiring a bunch of people, about $3 billion in revenue, again, 120 countries. 75% of our revenue is derived from the Americas. And so, you know, big focus again on our channel and our growth, and our leadership finally gets it that the channel is incredibly important to our business and our overall growth strategy as a company and our mission. But we have, you know, 8 years developing unique IP, $1 billion in investments, 12 million hours of development time, right? About 125,000 customers globally. And I get this question a lot from partners. Well, you guys are just too big. Right? And so we have, again, about 90% of the Fortune 500 companies, not all of their workloads, some of their workloads, right? We have companies like Nike that spend like $5 million a month. I mean, we have very large organizations, right? But we have of that, we have about 10,000 large enterprise customers, so there's somewhere between 110,000, 115,000, what we would call SMB, mid-market clients of ours. And I can tell you that most of the work happens in the mid-market for the things that I've been involved in. SMB for us is 0 to 300 million in annual revenue, and mid-market is 300 million to $1 billion, and above $1 billion is enterprise in our minds. I don't think it's right because we have small companies like Braze that started with us. They were spending $1,500 a month. They collect data for like your Domino's pizza is going to be delivered or your room is ready at Verbo. And so they have exploded. They now bill over $1 million a month. I mean, think about 20 points on that. You know, that's quite a bit of money. And again, it started out at $1,500. And so the beautiful thing about the space that we're in, the cloud, is data grows by osmosis. So every customer grows. It seems like the bill goes up every month as their data increases, and that's going to continue on. And so once you land a customer, we like to land and expand, kind of like me at a all-you-can-eat buffet.
Do customers ever get mad if the bill keeps increasing? Does that ever?
No, and we help them to optimize the environments, right? So we're always doing the best we can to optimize not only for finance, but for performance as well, right? And kind of tweaking the environments. And I can tell you the average cloud waste in all of the public hyperscalers nationwide, just a Gartner statistic, is 34%. And so what that means is there's great opportunity. You run into a prospect that says, nah, we're already in AWS. Well, what's your bill? Because probably about a third of it is waste. And you can help those people to optimize that, and we can reduce their spend and get more for them. And I can tell you that AWS now has over 40,000 SKUs. I think they developed 1,700 to 1,800 last year, and they're on a pace to do that almost annually, a couple thousand a year. So unless you do it day in and day out, it's impossible to keep up with it. It's very easy to get to the cloud, right? You get your credit card out, you go to AWS, click, click, click. I'm an admin. Cool, I'm in the cloud, right? All of a sudden, we have this happen. CFOs get the bill, and it's like 10x what they had budgeted because people don't know how to optimize the environments. So it's a great thing when people tell you, I'm already in the cloud. Wonderful. Let me tell you how I might be able to help you. And again, those are calls we want to get because I know that we can do those things. And what's most important that everyone should do is not think about the technology. You want to change the conversation to talk about business and business topics. And just stay away, because I can tell you our portfolio is huge. I don't know it all. I'm never going to know it all, and neither are you guys. And nor do you need to. What you want to do is ask these open-ended questions about business. Those things will map to technology solutions that you can then say, you know what, I think I have a partner that can help solve some of these problems, and bring us in. And I've had an opportunity to work with a couple of people in this room where, again, we bring whatever experts we need to the table. And I've been on calls where I've literally had 10 rackers, very specific expertise in different areas where we're solving solutions. But again, we're trying to deliver on business outcomes that people want, right? We always ask them, where are you at today? Where do you want to be? And so these are simple conversations, and I have 60 questions that I can send out to everyone if you like, that are in different areas, and they're all open-ended, but they all map to technology solutions. So you don't need to know anything about the technology. Just understand if there's an affirmative answer about a question, that there's a possible solution that you can be a part of. So get to know your customers again and your prospects. And this is kind of simple, but it's the truth. You ask them, what do you really do? What do you want to do? And then this is the money question. Why aren't you doing that? And this always maps to a problem that they're having. Again, here's some of the open, and what do you really do? What do you want to do? And then why aren't you doing it? And all of these will map to a solution that we can provide for them. And I can tell you, everyone wants to be in the cloud. The whole world is going there. People don't want to own devices and assets anymore, right? They don't want to manage it because they can't do it effectively. Number one, they can't patch it. They don't read log files. They're deficient in areas, right? In order for any business, a 24/7 operation, to have expertise in everything from database to cybersecurity, you need 7 individuals, because you got 3 shifts Monday through Friday, you have the 3 shifts on the weekend, and then of course people get sick, they go on maternity and paternity leave, and you have to cover for that. So most companies outside of the Fortune 500 cannot afford to hire all of the talent that they need, and I can tell you, talent is very hard to find in America today. And again, when people are really good at certain aspects, they're on LinkedIn, man, they're getting sucked away. People are offering them more money, they're throwing stock options at them, and people turn over and leave. Last year, the year of the Great Resignation, and we experienced it internally at our company as well. People wanted better quality of life, right? They got used to this work from home, not having to commute, and I know that I commuted for many, many years from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, 90 minutes a day on a good day, right? And on a bad day, it could be 4 or 5 hours, and that sucks. Not where you want to spend your time doing windshield, right? And I've been working from home now for about 13 years, and I could never go back to an office. But what's happened in America, people are leaving big cities. Obviously, we've had this huge influx of people to Florida. They're getting out of the Northeast, and what you see on the I-95 corridor is the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut people coming. They don't want to pay the state income tax anymore. They don't want to live there. Better quality of life, right? And on the West Coast, where I've now moved to, we have the Midwest people coming down from Chicago, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, coming down, and again, it's blowing up. What's happening? Our real estate is going up, right? Taxes are going up. Infrastructure. When I drove over yesterday, I got to tell you, I've told this car, I got to 95, I got to 27, and it had been beautiful weather all the way, and then all of a sudden deluge of rain, right? And then I get on 595 and it's grinding. And then I get to the I-95 North Loop and it's at a dead stop where they're doing the addition. And it took me 2 hours and 10 minutes to get to the loop from Venice, Florida. And it took me almost an hour to get to the courtyard of Federal and Commercial from there, because we went like 5 miles an hour and it was all 6 lanes. And you know, that's what's happening again, this explosion of people. Yeah.
Was that one-way express lane not open?
No. It was just, everything was shut down. It was horrible, man. I was like, and I called my wife and I said, I'm glad I don't live here anymore. You know? And so, you know, I want to thank you guys, but I want to tell you, as Carl alluded to, we did a sale very end of the year, again, $89,000. The month before we had one for $33,000. The sales are much larger, and they can take a little bit longer time. But what happens when we get involved, we typically are uncovering more opportunities within an organization. And I can tell you the greatest Trojan horse that I had last year was desktop as a service. Every account opportunity that I was engaged in to deliver a desktop as a service because of the work from home environment started out around $25,000 to $30,000. They all ended up more than $80,000, because when we got in there, what's beautiful about it is they have to tell you about all of their applications. So you talk to every stakeholder in the business, you talk to every department head. All of a sudden you're learning and you're uncovering all of these additional opportunities. And you know, I had one that started at $29,000, it ended at $154,000, and they've already added $16,000 more dollars a couple months into the process. So, you know, we want to help you all sell cloud. I mean, we know you know how to do the UCaaS and the CCaaS and internet circuits and all of that. But ask people what's going over those giggy circuits. Hey, Nate.
I was just going to say, the nice thing when you look at it from, you know, the agent's perspective and they're building a book of business, you know, having, whether it's with RackSpace or God forbid one of your competitors, you know, having something that's going to increase, you know, in value over time versus decrease like everything else, UCaaS, everything else, and the price compression, right? The seats keep getting cheaper, it's raised to zero. Internet, you know, nobody's even buying T1s anymore. 10 meg fiber certainly isn't $1,000 a month anymore.
Right.
So it's just nice from a management style of managing your business and just kind of having an intention of having something in your book of business that's going to increase over time instead of decrease.
Yeah, it's going to continue to grow. And again, in those you'll find other opportunities, right? And so, you know, again, we're here to help. We have, you know, I work with some of the smartest people in the world. I can tell you we have over half the company is engineers. And so we have expertise in a lot of areas. And so if you start to change the conversation, talk about business topics, you'll uncover opportunities that are much more valuable, and we'll help you secure those and do whatever we need to win. And I can tell you there's a lot of money at it. So I want to thank everyone for your time today. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I miss my family and seeing them on a regular basis. And then we'll do a little drawing here, and I'm going to send someone a $100 Amazon gift card.